Breaking news, breaking news. Garten of Banban 8 just got its first release date teaser, and it's a big one. We finally have the 10 days left image, and it comes with actual text on it. The reclamation team is coming. The shot shows Flumbo front and center, and behind him you can make out Zolphius lurking in the fog looking extra creepy. Flumbo looks like he's on some kind of bridge or catwalk mid-stride heading somewhere. The whole place is fogged up, and the fog isn't gray, it's light pink for some reason. First, timing. A 10 days left card basically locks the schedule. If they were even thinking about pushing again, they would not stamp a hard countdown and share it. So yeah, this is the best sign yet that there won't be another delay and the release window is set. Second, format. This is different from past countdowns. Usually it's an image, a number, maybe a logo, no extra text. Here we got a line, the reclamation team is coming. That's new language for this series, and I don't think they'd print a random phrase unless it matters in-game. The vibe is not a meme line, it reads like something you might hear over a PA system or see on a warning poster inside the facility. Now, the image itself, a few quick reads. Flumbo on a bridge. That walkway looks like a connector between larger spaces, not just a decorative ledge. Bridges equals traversal or transition. Think moving from one controlled sector to another or crossing over a hazard pit. The fact he's walking, not posed, sells it like we're catching him mid-mission, not trapped. Zolphius in the back. If Zolphius is in the same frame, that's not an accident. He usually signals oversight, control, or just, you are being watched. Putting him behind Flumbo makes it feel like someone or something is monitoring the path Flumbo's taking. It could be a hint that we're not alone on those bridges. Pink fog. This is the weirdest bit. Fog colors aren't random. Pink could be lighting, it could be gas, it could be a particulate effect from whatever Givanium does in this chapter. We've seen neutral and greenish tones before. Pink stands out. If it is a gas, expect a hazard mechanic. Hold your breath window, mask stations, vent toggles. If it's just lighting, it's still signaling this is not a normal hallway. All right, the phrase that's got everyone stuck, the reclamation team is coming. I did the same thing as you, looked up what reclamation means in plain English, and yeah, it's about restoring or recovering something. Land, materials, even people. That's the base definition. So what does it mean here? I've got a few grounded reads that actually fit Banban without pretending we got extra info. Cleanup crew in universe. After everything that went down in previous chapters, a reclamation team could be the group sent in to secure assets, specimens, data, equipment, and sanitize dangerous zones. Pink fog and bridge could be them moving through contaminated sectors and pulling things back. Reclaim the lost ones. Story beat. If Flumbo was locked away, remember the locker talk in Banban 0? Reclamation could be about taking him back, not rescuing him for kindness, but reclaiming property. That word has a cold corporate edge to it. Player's role twist. We've been teased before about not being the classic hero. The reclamation team is coming might be a line aimed at us or about us. Like you're not a parent, you're part of the team sent to collect and contain. Hearing that over speakers while you cross a bridge? Creepy and perfect. Faction name. Could just be their official label this chapter, like how some games have expedition, containment, maintenance, etc. Reclamation team sounds like the wing that shows up after an incident. Teaser cadence. If they put text on the 10-day card, don't be shocked that the 9-day, 8-day, etc. cards each drop a different phrase. Stitch them together and you'll get a sentence or a mini manifesto by day 1. Watch the wording closely. Couple more little details from the art side because this series loves micro clues. Foreground, midground, and background are all doing work. Flumbo, mid, Zolphius, back, rope, railings, and fog, mid plus back. If the rail has warning tape or stenciled numbers on later cards, write those down. They like hiding codes in plain sight. Motion read. Flumbo's body angle looks like forward movement, not a planted pose. That usually means the camera, us, is static and he's the one advancing. So maybe we're watching him cross an unsafe zone we'll have to cross too. Type choice. The font and the way they place the reclamation team is coming will probably be consistent across the set. If the kerning or weight changes later, that's not random, that's emphasis. Now, quick sanity check on what this doesn't mean so nobody runs off with it. This card alone doesn't confirm a playable Reclamation squad, it doesn't confirm a new gas mask item, and it doesn't confirm a Zolphius boss fight on a bridge. It does confirm they're willing to put lore words on countdown art, and that they're comfortable showing Flumbo and Zolphius together in the same shot. That's already more than we usually get. Things to watch for over the next days. If the fog color changes between cards, pink to orange to green, they're mapping zones by hazard and we'll need to track them. If the text lines start forming a list, for example, Reclamation Team, Reconvene, Purge, Secure, that's a protocol being spelled out. If we see the same bridge from a different angle, it's not just aesthetic. Expect it to matter in gameplay, chase, collapse, or switch puzzle. Any audio stings tied to these posts, even a 3-note motif, are worth noting. They like to repeat those in critical rooms. And yeah, I agree with you. A 10 days left card like this basically kills the delay rumors. You don't publish a countdown sentence if your calendar is shaky. This looks locked. That's my read. The teaser's simple, but it's doing a lot. Confirms the clock, gives us Flumbo plus Zolphius composition, introduces the Reclamation Team, and colors the space with that weird pink fog. If you caught any micro details I missed, small markings on the bridge, a shape in the fog, whatever, drop them. I'll screenshot everything and keep track day by day to see if the phrases line up into something bigger. Now, let's move to the next stuff I need to talk about. We are back with lots of news and things you probably missed about Garten of Banban 8, so let's get into it properly. First, the locker thing, because this has been bugging me for a while and I do not see anyone else talking about it. A year ago, that first Banban 8 teaser shows a closed locker, plain shut, no extra junk on it. In the latest trailer, the same locker has a rope on it, tied across so it is clearly locked on purpose. That changes the read of the scene. Before, it felt like, mystery locker we will open later. Now it feels like something is in there and somebody tied it shut fast. I am not overthinking it. I'm just telling you what is on screen. Either Flumbo got aggressive and they had to hard lock it, or they are just adding small realism details because Banban 8 looks way more grounded than the earlier chapters. Both are possible. Also, do not forget Flumbo was already shut away in Banban 0, back when the Giovannia monsters were still kids. Case 13, I think. I honestly forgot the exact number. So a tied locker lines up with that whole keep him contained vibe we already had. I went back and forth comparing frames, and the difference is not small once you notice it. In the older tees, the door edges are clean and your brain reads closed but not secured. In the new one, the rope crosses where your hand would naturally grab, which is a very human way to block a handle. The paint around that area also looks a little more scuffed than I remember. Maybe that is just upgraded textures for Banban 8, maybe it is meant to look like someone tugged on it. Either way, it sells the idea that the world is being interacted with by actual people, not just placed props. If later in the game you find this same locker and the rope is cut from the inside, yeah, then we have a different problem entirely. Second, playlists, because people keep asking if there are hidden uploads scheduled for release day. I did the simple check. Look through the official playlists, check if any of them suddenly have an extra slot or a scheduled premiere sitting there. There's nothing programmed yet that I can see. That's normal. It's still a bit early, and they like to post close to the date instead of setting a bunch of timers a week out. And if you looked and thought, there are 8 trailers, so that must mean consoles, iOS, Android, etc., you might be counting Banban 0 in there without realizing it. Even though it's a spin-off, it still sits under Garten of Banban. So the 8 includes 0. Easy to forget. I forgot too for a second. Now the Discord stuff, because there were a few small dev messages that explain why the server feels different this week. And yeah, leave a like, since only a small percentage of you are subscribed, and it helps a ton. Now, let us continue. The server has been pulling a lot of new members the last few days, but the message flood did not spike the same way. That makes sense. Release day announcement brings in lurkers who just read and wait. From Faris today, someone asked, Thinky, how can we say Faris to add a new emoji? And he said to send it to the devs or mods. Before that, he actually added one himself, a cute toadster with puppy eyes. It looks good and it fits the current tone they're pushing where things are creepy but still a bit cartoony on the surface. Voice chat is where they really change things. Someone asked why VCs were locked, and Faris said you need to be level 10 minimum to join now. I do not even know what that level system is tied to. I've been in the server forever and I'm still level 0. Then that same user came back and said they think permissions are only enabled for level 1 users, not 1520 users. And Faris replied, "You are correct, my bad." So it is actually a lower gate than it sounded at first, basically a light filter to keep drive-by trolls out. He also said straight up it is for safety and to limit inappropriate behavior that is hard to moderate. I'm going to be honest, I think some moderators are doing their job fine and some are not. A few are good, and there's one that is a total douchebag and probably nobody likes him. Either way, gating VC, even at level 1, will stop a chunk of the nonsense that always pops up right before a release. On Geppo's side, nothing new today when I checked. Yesterday he posted, Flumbo leaves the closet in 11 days. If he kept the pattern, today would have been 10 days, but he did not do it. I am not reading anything into that. He has been consistent. Missing one daily line usually just means he's busy. For context, when he said 13 days, Adam replied, he's finally going to see the sunlight, y'all, and Geppo answered, we'll see, which is a small tease. That feels less like a date change and more like we have a surprise about how you meet Flumbo, but I'm not going to invent anything. That is literally what was said. Back to the locker for one last second because it ties into how Banban 8 looks compared to older chapters. People keep saying this one is more realistic, and I agree just from the trailer polish alone. Small things like a rope on a locker or a scuff pattern that actually matches hand contact or a little extra grime pass on a door frame, those sell the space. It is the kind of upgrade you do in the final months when you are revisiting shots and asking, does this feel like a place where someone panicked? It also gives them easy prop-based storytelling. You don't have to dump a note that says, we tried to keep him in here. The rope already tells you that. While we are on that, I will also say this because someone will ask me again, a rope does not mean they changed the story. It can just mean the asset went through a normal art pass. First teaser showed the basic model, later trailers showed the final version with more touches. That is common. If they want it to matter, they'll show it again from a slightly different angle or put you next to it in a shot that lingers a second longer. So when the countdown content starts, watch for whether they use that same locker again. If they do, then we know it is on purpose. As for the playlist, one more tiny reminder, even if you don't see a scheduled upload, YouTube lets you keep a video unlisted and then flip it public right on time. They have done that style before, so do not panic if it looks empty a few days out. It is normal. That's basically the state of things today. The locker now has a rope on it compared to the first teaser. The playlists do not show anything hidden yet. If you counted 8, you probably counted Banban 0 and forgot. On Discord, Faris added a new toadster emoji, explained how to request emojis, and confirmed voice chat is level gated. First said level 10, then corrected, lower gate. Reason is safety and moderation. From Geppo, nothing new today. Yesterday was 11 days. Earlier was 13 days, with Adam replying and Geppo saying we'll see. That is all real and straight from what was posted, not guesses. I think you should subscribe to me to appear on my banner as I put a random subscriber on my banner every day. But the only thing is that you also have to subscribe to the channels featured on my homepage, that being Clarenzo, Javanium Citizen, and Charcoal. And for me to spy you faster, also leave a comment. That is all I had for today. Pretty dry besides the rope thing, but still interesting once you notice it. Goodbye.